Before we start to the fun part, and that's my part then, just maybe 2-3 comments on the asset approach. Since obviously we are not doing it the first time, and in the conversation I'm hearing a lot of questions, what are we going to do different this time? Why should it make an impact compared to earlier initiatives, etc., etc. So I think one thing is it's more business case driven than ever. Yeah? So if you feel you have an idea which really can drive business and you are willing to stick your personal role and Urs would say now your bonus on it, yeah? Then we can go into investment cases which we haven't done. And looking at the first round of ideations, I'm recognizing that we have lost a bit these bold plays. We are rather thinking about the next incremental small steps, which are good, don't get me wrong, just to also mitigate the investment needs related to an asset. So really, first message is we are in an environment now, also with Urs as our new GM, strong focus on asset, non-labor-based revenue at higher profitability, bring a business case, commit yourself to the outcome, and there is basically room for doing crazy things, large numbers, but the commitment must be there. That's the first message. Second message is we talk about the shift in portfolio, what we need to do. Very much like Andy's journey on BP, showing also how our market, client demand is changing and what we need to do differently to engage. And I think the asset topic is obviously an excellent place to position ourselves, particularly in this space. I'm getting a lot of ideas and feedbacks yesterday evening, and also in the last couple of weeks. Couldn't we do this? What about doing your own electronics platform based on IoT? What about a cognitive solution on M&A? I mean, great ideas. I really like that. Let's bring those business cases forward, then we can decide on it. I think that's the difference. That's the different approach. And I think also that this will drive outcomes from assets which we sometimes probably haven't seen in the past. So now to the fun part. Can somebody help? Yeah, thank you. So very short, this is what we kicked off. This was basically a bit of a bold idea, do an ideation block to keep the process running. Yeah? I mean, we are not doing that every quarter. It should become business as usual, but it was about kicking it off. It was an ideation running 7 weeks, 13 ideas, which I think is a very good starting point. I would like to see more. I would like to see even bolder ideas. And I think roughly half of our go-to-market team engaged with votes. Also, this is a starting point, but really we need to refocus our thinking on creation of ideas and also how to basically sell it and deliver against the business case. I think I covered the asset focus already, the business case idea, and also the topic business as usual moving forward. So we can really come now to the fun part, and I would like to come to me on stage. First of all, Deb. Haven't seen you yet, Deb Chakraborty. For the ATP asset, Paul Fielden is not here, but I think Jürgen Braun also driving this in the Daimler account. Please come on stage on behalf of the team. And finally, Adrian Bird. Yes, please, a big applause. I missed to say the Oscar goes. Congratulations, come on.
Thank you very much.
Just come to me. Is Jürgen here? Yeah. No? Ah, yeah. Thank you. Jürgen, Adrian Bird. Okay. So then basically you are the only one on stage getting the full applause for 3 assets. I mean, yeah. We are a bit short in time, but maybe just 1-2 messages on what we are doing. Maybe, Deb, you want to say like the 1-2 things on the asset idea and how you want to market it, since the reason why it took a while until we had the final assessment done was I was a bit pity on Mark, and obviously Mark then on the idea creators. I was asking, what are the first 2-3 anchor accounts? When I'm going to see the first signing out of that? How do we basically make sure that this is not just an idea in UK, but how it does it leverage also in the other IMTs, etc., etc. And I think those 3 asset owners basically best could assess, besides the idea, also the business case. So very quickly, what do you have proposed and how do you want to create basically the business case?
This is interesting. Drilling analytics was something which was always there in the market, but very few people actually noticed it. You all know the drilling operations, especially in the today's complex drilling, in deep sea drilling and all this kind of stuff happening, horizontal drilling and all this very, very complex stuff happening. Analytics was always part of the drilling, but mostly all the oil companies use physics-based drilling technique. They don't do the analytics-based drilling techniques. So we took a challenge. It took us about 6 months to investigate the real-time data, and then we found that whatever we do in the predictive analytics, statistic analytics, is perfectly applicable to the drilling analytics to identify the predictors of drill failure. And when a drill failure happens, it causes a company tens of millions of dollars of wastage. Something like stuck pipe or any pack-off causes huge amount of money for the oil companies.
That was the interesting part everybody's excited about, but maybe 2-3 sentences on the business case, like where are you engaged already, what's basically the next account, just very quickly.
So it was quite difficult to convince any oil companies, but we found one good company to work with. It's called Maersk Oil, and that was the first time. I mean, IBM was not visible in that company at all. Accenture was all over the place. But we took a very bold step. We said to the company, share your drilling data, real-time data. We will do some investigation on your data. And by the way, if we could find something out of your data, any insights, we'll share those with you for free. So it took 7 days. We came up with few anomalies and few trends, which we did not understand what all about. And we went back to the company and told, give access to your SMEs. We will be able to tell you what exactly was happening in the drilling operation. And when we talked to them, we told them that you gave us a data up to 7,000 feet drilling, and we identified that there was a stuck pipe at 13,000 feet. And they were shocked. They said, really, it was there? How did you come to know? And then we identified these are the predictors which enabled us to understand something was happening. We didn't know what it was. And that gave us an immediate opportunity to run a proof of concept. We ran the proof of concept, and last 7th April, we demonstrated the outcome of the proof of concept to the top level, including the CEO, and they immediately sanctioned for the next level of a project, which is going to be the field trial, where we are going to run it at the Danish business unit. We are kind of working on the proposal. There is only one person who is still apprehensive a little bit on that, who is the owner of the Danish business unit, but we'll win them as well.
Okay, thank you very much. Stay with me. Just a question, yeah. So we have obviously 5 industry represented in the room, but just from the various CNP accounts, who is going to connect with Deb and brings that in front of the client? Without glasses, I have difficulties to see the people, but you follow through the hands, yeah? Okay, stay with me. Excellent. Excellent. And again, we are tracking basically all of the progress. Nothing is getting done if it's not measured, sorry for that. So we will see also reports on those assets. So that's the first one. Very quickly, you have basically the chance to use the time for 3 assets now. So the proposal... Yeah, Adrian is here. Thank you. Come to me on stage. So Adrian basically takes it on for Andrew, who isn't here. Come on. Applause as well. So that's the environmental reporting as a service. Adrian, maybe you can just say 1 or 2 sentences what the idea is and how you basically, business case was the topic, also market it moving forward.
Okay, so environmental reporting as a service helps companies calculate their greenhouse gas emissions, which is clearly a very important thing, both regulatory and social responsibility. The system is configured, it's SAP, it's on software, and it's available as a service. We also work with an environmental design company who can do all of the business design, so we can do all of that. It's pay per service, so it's a kind of fixed price type basis. It's live with Brunei Shell Petroleum, and we want to sell it to as many other companies as possible. So please contact me afterwards.
Thanks very much. So very quickly, the last one, it's basically automotive, but not only. Yeah, I mean, it's applicable from my perspective in every industry with a spare part component, which is more or less all of our industries. We have an initial asset already placed. That's now the next stage, putting it on cloud, putting it as a service. Really a good idea as well as all of the 3 ones. Let me basically share what the price is. I mean, first of all, we obviously have decided to invest in what the request has been and has been presented. But as an outcome, or the price for winning the Asian, it's basically a SEA, which I ask you to come back with me, to me, which teams are working. So they will all be awarded as a SEA as we go. And I would like to see a short-term implementation of the asset as it's proposed. And then basically we have a session. I'm inviting the team to a dinner, but I would like to see how did you basically execute against the ID, and would basically see the outcomes, and then we have some celebration afterwards. Yeah, takes it to Andrew. Deb, you are here, and we get the communication via Jürgen to Paul and Peter directly. So applause. Thank you.